If you're new here, please take a moment to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you'll never miss an update on the ongoing search for Lily and Jack Sullivan. Every view, every share, and every notification helps keep their story alive and brings us one step closer to the answers their family so desperately needs. It was a bright spring morning in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, when 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack vanished from their own backyard. Their laughter drifted across the yard by the swing set, where Lily's pink top and rainbow boots gleamed in the early light and Jack's dinosaur print boots made puddles splash. Their step-grandmother, Janie Mackenzie, dozed in the RV park just a few steps away, until her dog's urgent barking roused her. She heard those happy voices, then nothing. 20 minutes later, the children had disappeared without a trace. From the moment the RCMP Major Crime Unit arrived, the search was massive and immediate. Helicopters cut through the treetops, search and rescue crews tramped through 5.5 square kilometers of dense forest, bloodhounds followed faint scent trails, and drones probed the canopy. Volunteers, neighbors who adored the children, joined the effort. By nightfall, only a fragment of Lily's pink blanket and 2 tiny boot prints had been recovered. Investigators carted those items away for forensic testing, hoping they would hold the key to unlocking what happened. Almost as quickly as the search began, confusion set in. The pink blanket's reported location shifted from a trash bin near the RV to a railing on the porch and then to a low-hanging branch in a nearby tree. Whose blanket was it? Lily's or Jack's? Why had its story changed? Today's video unpacks how this single piece of evidence became a symbol of the case's unanswered questions. Every detail of the blanket's journey has been carefully logged, but no definitive explanation has been offered. While the ground search wound down, officials later said the chances of survival in those woods were slim. The digital dragnet ramped up. Investigators collected and reviewed over 5,000 video files from doorbell cameras, dash cams, and local business security feeds. Motion detection software flagged every movement. A flicker of bright color, a small figure slipping behind a tree, a car parked off-road at dawn. Each clip was cross-referenced with cell tower data, weather records, and known schedules of family members. Still, nothing conclusive emerged. In parallel, the RCMP logged more than 600 public tips. Some tips led to immediate search efforts. A caller's report of hearing muffled cries near an abandoned sawmill prompted a weekend sweep, and a grainy dashcam video of 2 small silhouettes on a side road led to a fresh grid search. Each tip was its own entry in a growing database of more than 800 open tasks, ensuring that no lead, however small, would be ignored. Amid these efforts, scrutiny turned inward. Stepfather Daniel Martel's public statements came under the microscope. In one interview, he spoke of racing toward cabins when he realized the children were missing. In another, he talked instead about bunkhouses near the property edge. Observers noted odd punctuation in his social media posts, semicolons where commas might belong, abrupt sentence fragments, and some speculated those patterns hinted at stress or inconsistency. Investigators have interviewed Daniel extensively, and he voluntarily took a polygraph test which he says he passed, but to this day every word of his remains the subject of close analysis. Adding another layer of complexity, biological grandmother Belinda Gray told local media that Child Protection Services had previously been involved with the family and that Jack had unexplained bruises in the months before May 2nd. The RCMP confirmed they reviewed any available CPS records, but declined to comment on the specifics. Whether those bruises were from rough play, accidental bumps, or something more worrisome is unknown. But the CPS mention underscores how many aspects of the family's life were brought under the lens of inquiry. Neighbors also recall seeing Janie digging small, shallow holes in the yard the night before the disappearance. She explained she was aerating soil for spring flowers, but the holes were far too shallow and too neat for planting. The RCMP revisited those spots multiple times, suggesting that they hoped to uncover hidden evidence, perhaps scraps of clothing, a weapon, or other overlooked clues. Each return search added to the case's sense of urgency and mystery. If something was hidden there, it hadn't yet been found. As summer heated up, volunteers and professionals alike adapted their tactics. drone pilots formed volunteer groups to coordinate aerial grid searches over the thick canopy, what one pilot called mapping the forest from the sky. They flew at dawn and dusk, looking for heat signatures or gaps in foliage. Ground teams learned to read subtle signs, broken moss patterns where footprints might lie, disturbed leaf litter that could mark a child's path. Retired search and rescue instructors taught volunteers how to interpret birds' calls as potential distress signals and how to follow faint trails without contaminating them. At a press conference in mid-July, Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon reminded the public that no possibility has been ruled out. He spoke calmly but pointedly, thanking volunteers for their dedication and urging anyone with information to come forward. The case had now been added to Nova Scotia's major unsolved crimes program, with a reward of up to $150,000 for information leading to Lily and Jack's safe return, or to their remains, if necessary. That six-figure reward underscored how seriously authorities viewed the disappearance. Community efforts never flagged. Candlelit vigils that first lit up the town's churchyards continued spontaneously, neighbors gathering beneath swaying trees, lanterns held aloft in silent prayer. Students from the local high school spearheaded social media campaigns under #FindLilyandJack, urging friends across Canada to keep the story alive. Churches opened their halls for community meetings, fundraisers, and prayer circles. Local artisans asked permission to feature the children's faces in gallery shows, knowing that art could spread awareness in new ways. Daniel and Malia, despite living in the spotlight, channeled their grief into community outreach. They spearheaded a GoFundMe to cover volunteer needs, fuel for boats and drones, printing of missing child flyers, snacks for searches. They posted weekly video updates, not to stoke speculation, but to thank supporters and emphasize that Lily and Jack were still missing children, not just a case file. Their messages were at once tender and urgent. "We miss you every day," Daniel said in one video, his voice breaking. "Please help us bring them home." National media began to take note of the investigation's technical depth. Newsweek and The Independent published analyses pointing out that the use of polygraphs, advanced digital forensics, cross-province task forces, and repeated property searches all signaled a criminal-level inquiry, even though police hadn't formally declared it one. Experts suggested that two small children rarely vanish from a fenced yard without intervention, yet no person of interest had been named. By late August, the RCMP announced a Phase 2 of their efforts, revisiting previously searched areas with refined methods, running new drone flight patterns at different altitudes, and enlisting canine teams trained in delayed trail tracking. They plan to overlay new satellite imagery with ground data to spot changes in terrain. Experts warned that even after months, evidence could be hidden beneath leaf cover or underwater in shallow creeks. Through every adaptation, one reality has held steady. This case will only be resolved if someone with direct knowledge comes forward. If you were on Gellock Road between April 28th and May 2nd, if you saw a stranger's vehicle parked off the beaten path, if you heard children's voices near abandoned cabins, please call the RCMP Major Crime Unit at 902-896-5060 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. You can remain anonymous. Every memory, every detail, no matter how small, could be the crucial piece that reunites Lily and Jack with their family. Until that day arrives, we will continue to share every verified update, analyze every public statement, and rally this community's determination. Please subscribe, share this video with 3 friends, and keep Lily and Jack in your thoughts. Our collective watchfulness, our refusal to let this story fade, is the strongest tribute we can pay to 2 little lives that deserve to be found.